Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Achua. This is going to be one of my life after maceration videos where I speak about how fragrances have aged over time, how they have developed, have they gotten better, worse, or remained same after buying them, and opening them up. I do some of these to help you out as to know the final, outcome of some of these fragrances, and if the final outcomes really resonate with you, then you can go ahead and pick it up according to my nose and according to my experience. And in today's video, I have 8 of such fragrances that have aged over time, and the first one I have here is going to be the one fragrance among the bunch that I feel has macerated the best. Not that the others did not, but I think this, for what it was in the beginning and the experience I'm getting now, has macerated among them the best. And it is going to be Anoud from the house Artisan Brown. I remember speaking about this and mentioning the fact that I was looking for a realistic cactus, scent, but when I received it, it was not giving me what I was, anticipating. Plus the fact that it felt like boring and, not blended well. Well, it's been over a month now, let's say about a month and a half now, and I think it still needs to go through some bit of maceration. But for that, what I'm getting now, it is much more sweeter. It has a lot of cactus and then jasmine and tuberose and then brown sugar. And I'm not getting the brown sugar, working now. The brown sugar is now working. It's much sweeter, It is so much sweeter now. I remember sharing that I don't think it is a fragrance I was going to wear, at the time I received it and I was, testing it out. It didn't feel like a fragrance I was going to utilize. But now, from what I'm getting now, I take that, back. I really do take that back. I would actually wear this, on a, like a hot sunny day, something like make me feel fresh and clean, but with the sweetness. It didn't have the sweetness at first. I didn't really get the brown sugar, sweetness at all. Now, I do get it, it's now peeping through. I feel like it's one of those that needs a bit more time. I feel if I give this one like 1 or 2 more months, it's going to change into something much beautiful, because after a month and a half, this has developed into something that I would wear. I still don't get that, realistic cactus I was looking for. Someone asked me how cactus smell. I will not be able to describe how the smell of cactus unless maybe you have smelled, it before, or any scented, cactus, thing. But I don't know. It's like, how does a jasmine smell? It's quite difficult to, to describe. However, it's a floral, fragrance, and I still don't get that, heavy cactus, although I get it, but not like the cactus I was looking for, not the one that I was looking for. But this has, developed or aged, well. I think it's aged beautifully. It's one of those things, it has transformed like 360, and I think I'll wear this, now that I'm getting the sweetness, and a bit of a fruity nuance. It doesn't have any fruit per se. I think it is like magnolia, jasmine, cactus, tuberose, which I'm not getting any of them, but I'm getting like a fruity accord, somewhere that I can't tell you which fruit, per se, but it's giving me a fruity accord, with the sweetness of the brown sugar and the cactus, it's now getting more sweeter and more beautiful. So yes, I would wear this now, yes, I will give it a little more time, but I think I'll wear this now. The next one I have is going to be one that is, well, I know I was speaking about Leen a lot, and it's one of my best, fragrances from the house Latafa. I actually love this like a lot. But the whenever I see descriptions of it, it's more about mango. A lot of people describe it as mango forward, but I will not describe this necessarily as mango forward. For me, it's more about the jasmine, and the creamy tuberose. I get like a jasmine forward scent, and the let's say it's more about the florals first, and then the mango is like secondary, although it is still very present, like a green and ripe sort of, mango scent. That is what I get, so I will not describe this as a heavy mango scent per se, but it's more of a heavy floral, in the first position, and then the mango comes in with other, nuances. This to me was perfect from day one. I don't think I ever had any issue because I had smelled it before getting my bottle. I had sampled this before getting my own bottle, and this smells so beautiful in the first place. It's one of those, ladylike, sophisticated, polished, dressed up, fragrances that can be used for like serious events. It doesn't give me anything fun and flirty like the mango punch, for example. It doesn't give me anything fun and flirty. It's more of a serious, grown, matured one. I don't see a lot of younger crowd appreciating this like a lot more. And I think I've even had a few comments when people say they bought this and it didn't work for them. I understand that it is quite on the complex, matured side, and I love this didn't really need any process of aging or maceration. It's like it was good from the beginning. The only thing I can say is the longevity has improved, as with most fragrances when they go through maceration. I guess like the whole day and then some, the whole day and then some, especially on clothes. On skin, maybe about 4 hours, 4-5 hours pushing it when you spray. But on clothes, you can get like a full day's wear, although it's not going to be super beast mode, it's still going to linger around for people like arm's length around you to smell. So that's going to be Leen. It hasn't really changed scent wise, because it was good from day one. The third one I have is going to be a milky fragrance. If a milk I can tolerate. I don't like a lot of milky fragrances, but when it comes to hair finishes by Latafa, this is a milk done right. A milk done right in the sense that it is not like super it is not nauseating. I would not even say super nauseating. It is not nauseating at all. It is a milk with the woods, with the mystical. I don't know how mystical smell, but it's like woods, tuberose, florals, and then milk. That is what essentially it is. The fact that it is boxed with the tuberose and the other florals and then woods makes it super unisex in my opinion. This to me has not really changed that much. It has. I think I wrote it down when I initially got it that it was a bit musky, like a lot more musky than the OG Blanche Bet, yes. But now I don't get like any musk playing like a significant role. It is still a musky scent, but it's more about the florals, and then the woods and then the milk. And although I wouldn't say it is as intense and like 100% Blanche Bet, it takes its own slightly different direction, but it puts you in that mind frame of Blanche Bet like 100%, I'm yet to smell anything that has done that, when it comes to a Middle Eastern house or Middle Eastern dupe house, This is a good interpretation. I don't think a lot has changed except for the marks that I felt from the beginning, and it's now like a lot more calmer, but the scent profile is very beautiful. So it's one that has aged well, it's not really changed that much. It was, the longevity was good from the beginning. Blanche Bet has like a very insane longevity, and this one has like insane longevity, maybe less of the projection than Blanche Bet. Blanche Bet is like beast mode without doing too much. It's like beast mode, you leave a room, people still can smell you. That is Blanche Bet. But this, I'm getting like a very good longevity. I'm getting the staying power, maybe the sillage not so intense as Blanche Bet, but this is a good one. It didn't have to go through a lot, to get to where it is. It's very beautiful. So if you're not one that has the patience to wait for fragrances to macerate, this one that you can go for within 3-4 days, you're ready to go. The next one I have is a fragrance I absolutely love. Like, I guess watched a lot of reviews, and people spoke about this, although this is not like a super popular fragrance. But I love this. This is going to be your peach Ajmal's Wisal Dhahab, your peach heavy fragrance. I wouldn't say it has changed a lot. I would say it's a very clean, crisp, peach and some, sort of, citruses, and some roots, and it says it has oud, but I don't think I get anything oud. It's like a non-existent oud, but more roots, and this is superior. This is beautiful. This fragrance is Middle Eastern, more Middle Eastern than Western, but it's not going to give you your Middle Eastern oud or woody, per se. It's still woody, which a lot of people might say it is like masculine leaning, but to me it is not. It is perfectly unisex, to my nose. The peach was unsweetened. The peach felt like super unsweetened. The fragrance itself had very little sweetness to it when I initially got it, but now I get a bit more of a sweetness. There's a sweetness to it than I initially got it. Although it is still not going to give you your sweet girly, one. It's more of a matured peach, and the peach doesn't come across as those iced peach tea. It's more of a straight up peach, but not like a very sweetened one with the wood, playing a very significant role in this. This is very beautiful. Now I get something like a crisp, like a clean, musky crispness to it. There's something, I don't know, but it's very beautiful, and it didn't really need to go through a lot. The only thing I can say is that the peach over time has gotten a lot more sweeter, but this really didn't need to go through anything at all. The next one I have here is going to be Emeer from the house, Latafa. This, I would say, felt super masculine to me. It didn't really give me a lot of feminine vibes. It is for the most part a very masculine, leaning fragrance. It is super masculine, with the bergamot, the lime, and the woods and the powderiness and the muskiness. It's like a powdery, musky, woody fragrance for men. But it felt like super masculine to me. As time goes on, sometimes some of these fragrances begin to get a lot more tolerable and a lot more unisex to me. I smelled this on my sister, and it smells like very unisex. It doesn't give me masculine vibes. She just picks up something, she doesn't even know what it is, and she sprays it. I think I've smelled this like twice on her. It didn't give me anything masculine vibes at all, although to me I would suggest this for a man. However, I would say I sort of maintain what it was from the beginning, the woody, musky, powdery, bergamot, freshness. It hasn't really changed that much, so yeah, not a lot. The scent is beautiful. Like, I really highly recommend this. The scent is beautiful, but I don't think a lot has changed when it comes to Emeer from the house, Latafa. It's aged beautifully, but a lot has not changed, when it comes to the scent profile. One that I'm super excited to talk about is Brown Sugar from the house, Artisan Perfume from Fragrance World. This is beautiful. This is unique. This is different. This is your wine. The first time I sprayed this one, I was like, I almost gave up on it. I was like, this is so different. I've not smelled this before. It's like a realistic red wine and some powderiness. Then I went to bed. I woke up in the morning, and the powderiness of the fragrance started to shine through. The first day, I would say I was a bit, taken aback. I wasn't sure what I was smelling. It felt a little too unique and complex to me. But this, in like 3 days, became the best thing I have ever smelled. When it comes to a realistic red wine scent, I think this is the only red wine scent that I have. It is beautiful. The wine here is super realistic red wine. And then the powdery, baby powder vibes that this one comes with a hint of a greenness, like a floral greenness to this. It is different. It is unique. It's beautiful, It's different. It is not going to be your mass appealing boozy scent. It is a boozy wine scent, but it's not going to be your mass appealing one. It's a very unique take on a wine, very realistic wine take. It took me like by surprise, but not in a very good way, the first spray. But after like 3 days, I was like I have chanced through something like a hidden gem. If you want your unique smelling fragrances not to smell like any other person, it smells super artsy, super out of this world. It doesn't smell like your everyday boozy, like the angel share. It doesn't give you that at all. It gives you a very artsy, creative. It's like a very creative release, or a creative offering, and that is going to be Artisan Perfumery. It's the scent after like the third day has not really changed. The first day was like hard and like, what the hell have I gotten myself into, sort of moments. But this one ages beautifully, and you get something more realistic. It's not fun. It's more of a serious, artsy sort of feel. So Brown Sugar from the house, Fragrance World, yes, I would say it is a very unique one. Then I move on to the one from Athena. I think I featured Angham in the previous life after maceration, and I promised to bring you Athena, and this I would say has aged beautifully. I get the Baby Goddess like almost 100%, but it's missing the nuttiness of the Baby Goddess. You know, this and Athena, Angham, I always say they are missing that nuttiness of the Baby Goddess that I get, you know, but it's very beautiful. It's maturated beautifully. I got a lot of florals, you know. I got a lot of, it has like mate and other florals, you know. I was smelling everything but, you know, the heavy lavender of the original Baby Goddess. I was smelling everything but that. Now I do get a lavender of the Baby Goddess, you know, but it's not as intense. The vanilla, I think what the closest this has in common with the Baby Goddess is the vanilla, you know. It's very close in the vanilla of the Baby Goddess, but not in the lavender. Very close to the vanilla, you know, but not in the lavender. But it's also not as nutty as the vanilla I find in Baby Goddess. But this has macerated beautifully. I would highly recommend that to check out Athena. You know, yes, it is between that and Angham. If money is the consideration, go for Athena. You will not regret this. So that is going to be that. The next one I have here is one that was promised to be 4 types of, you know, vanillas, but to me it is not, and it's going to be Soirée from the house Maison Asra. I'm not really a fan of this fragrance. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Soirée. I think Nebras is superior, you know, to this. I'm using it because I just want to be able to utilize this, you know. It's not bad. Anytime I put it on, you know, I have utilized it quite a bit. Anytime I put it on, I'm not annoyed or whatever. I'm just underwhelmed, you know, first because it was promised to be something that it is not, you know. So it gives me that sort of, you know, I'm underwhelmed by that. The scent profile by itself, it's just okay, you know. But the cocoa in this one, when I remember spraying it and the cocoa powder took over, it gave me a very cheap smelling cocoa powder vibes, you know, cocoa powder puff sort of vibe. I still get that, you know, cheap smelling cocoa powder nuance in this, you know. I still get it, you know. I almost don't want to say negative things about certain fragrances, but I'm talking about my experience. I still get that, you know, sort of slightly squishy cocoa powder feel to this. I feel it needs like a bit more time to macerate. I think this has been like a month in my collection at this point, but I think it's one of those that would like do so much better after like 3-6 months, you know, one of those with the cocoa powder in itself. I don't get any super gourmandy out of this world vanilla. No, it's not a vanilla I have not smelled before. It doesn't give me anything I have not smelled before, or a very, you know, out of this world thing that, you know, I would drool over or say I would highly recommend, you know. I always say this, I think Nebras is superior, although Nebras is not my favorite. I would rather Nebras than Soirée, you know. It's maturated, but I still think that cheapness of the cocoa powder feel. I know a lot of people would disagree with me or say I'm being, you know, too harsh on this, you know, but that is my experience. That is my experience, you know. I guess feel like it still has that sort of, you know, cheap smelling cocoa powder feel to it, you know. But yeah, that is going to be Soirée from the house of, you know, Maison Asra. And the last one I have in this is going to be Bint Hooran Rose Passion from Hooran. This I would say was like quite on the meh side of things from the beginning. Yes, it is like a very mass appealing, very, you know, common DNA, so it's not going to blow you away. When I initially received this, it was like just an okay scent to me, you know, a very fun, girly, flirty one. But this has gotten a lot more sweeter and a lot more syrupy. There's a syrupy, gummy-ish, you know, vibe to this that I wasn't getting from the beginning. It's a non-dupe for Yara Candy, you know, Yara Candy, and that is like the creamier, more vanillic, you know, version of this. And this is like the more effervescent, you know, version. This felt a lot more like diluted in a way, you know. It didn't feel as rich and intense. It still doesn't feel rich and intense. It's more of a fresh, you know, strawberry effervescence, you know, take on Yara Candy, in my opinion. I would say this has macerated. I now get that, you know, syrupy nuance and a thickness to it, but it's still not going to be your, you know, your heavy vanilla dense like the Yara Candy, for example. So I would say it was light. It was light. It's still quite light. Longevity wise, it's going to give you like an average 8-10 hours on clothes, although it's not like beast mode. It's not going to fill up a room, and it's not going to project that well. You know, it's sort of an arm's length. People are going to smell you, hug me, sort of, you know, close to the skin sort of experience, just like the Yara candy. I don't find the Yara candy to be super, you know, beast mode as well. So I would say this one has improved when it comes to the thickness, you know, the thickness of it, like the texture, you know, texture wise, I think it has improved. It's more thickened up, you know, a little more sweetened up, a little more syrupy. It gives me a little more of a syrupy, you know, nuance as opposed to when I initially got it. Initial stages was like just meh, you know, like ordinary body spray, you know, Victoria's Secret body spray to me. But now I can see the fragrance, you know, it's giving me more of a fragrance than body mist, you know, vibes. Now that it's thickened up, you know. So that is going to be the case of Bint, Hooran, Rose Passion. Yeah, and I think that those are the 8 fragrances I have in this video, and I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing to Ajala's Fragrances, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.